Folks, what I'm about to show you is shocking. Shocking, but in the interest of science, we are going to do it. I'm going to show you our spare room, computer room. I hate that ceiling fan, by the way. Hate it. And it's just awful. Clothes on the futon. Stains on the carpet. Behind here is this. My arcade machine, and then the seats just hold stuff, along with this other chair, my ham radio setup with tons of stuff on the floor, my filing system on the floor, and then this computer desk is just awful. So why am I making this video? Well, just did a series where I replaced the computer. Now that I've replaced the computer in here, we've always hated it in here, but it's just, I can't move the computer because the computer records our TV, and then that's a thing. So now that I've actually replaced the computer, that computer actually can go into a different spot temporarily, and we can still basically function in the household, which means we can get all this stuff out of here and redo the floor, because the floor is awful, and replace the desks. Don't like those desks. And replace the futon. Don't like that futon. And paint the walls and ceiling. Got to do that also. Why do we have to do that? Well, we had a incident happen here where we ended up having to do repairs, and we never been able to come in here and replace that. And then up here we've got patch as well. We've also got a camel cricket on the wall, which I'm going to eradicate shortly. But, you know, what ended up happening was, since I replaced the computer, I said, you know, I really need a better desk than the one I've got. And if I'm already doing the desk, we should do the floor if I'm moving all that stuff. And if we're doing the floor, we should do the paint. And if we're doing the paint, we might as well get a new futon. The futon and desk has already been ordered from IKEA, and it's going to be shipped to us because shipping was $29. Now, there is a IKEA in Charlotte, so we could drive down, but the stuff's not in stock until the end of the month, and it comes in at the end of the month, shipping day, $29. Marissa found a 25% off coupon. We'll just let them handle it. We probably still have to end up going to IKEA anyway, but we're going to document the progress of our computer room, spare room. Now, nobody uses this bed, the futon. The couch really is just to, you know, sit on. But if we have a nephew or a niece come, they'll probably end up using that. We've got an actual spare bedroom for guests, a guest room. Okay. We'll start it. Well, you really won't be able to tell in the boxes, but we bought our flooring, we bought our paint, and a new light. This thing was expensive, but LEDs, and it's equal to 3 light bulbs. Right now, I think we have barely 1 light bulb, so should be a big difference. I won't install it now, but that would be silly. Or would it? It's pretty early right now. Well, it's not that early. It's like 7 a.m., but it is overcast. And I wanted to show you, and this is not going to come up very well because it's overcast, one, how echoey it is in an empty room, and how bad the dust really was that caused the computer fire. So here's the clean spot, and there's the dirty spot. So for 15 years I couldn't get back there due to the way the computer was configured. So Marissa, allergies have been acting up anytime she comes in this room, and I'll be honest with you, I got a little froggy just being exposed to this stuff as well. So got the vacuum out. I'm kind of cleaning up as I go along, even though we're going to pull up the carpet just so it doesn't become a dust storm. Oh, did I tell you how much I hate this light? Hate this light. I know it does not look like much. It's not supposed to. The room is supposed to be bare. And the amount of dust that I picked up in that corner was so bad that it ended up overheating the motor and shutting it down temporarily. I did zip tie some of the cables together to make it a little more tidy. I also cut any cables that were going through the baseboard there. Usually it was coax running from one room to another. So I've cut those. I cut the one Ethernet cord that's in the floor. One is still active. That'll get rerouted to that wall. And yeah, so next step is spraying the texture on the patch and letting it dry. Lily, are you planning on assisting me? Are you planning on kissing me? Oh, good girl. Good girl. Say hello to everybody. Yeah, you're a good girl. One of the more interesting things that I've found during this process of building the computer and working on the office is I found lots of hard drives. So this is another spare little jump hard drive that I'm just going to drill. That's the best way to destroy them, is you just drill through them and then the data can't be recovered. I found like 4 old IDE hard drives that I can't use anymore, so I've destroyed them as well. I'm sure there's video cards and RAM chips and a whole bunch of stuff floating around, and I'll just, over time, get rid of them. Lots of USB cables too, but you may never know, you may need those. Goodbye, chair. You've served me well for many years. The ass groove is now very pointy and hurty. Your armrests worn. Plus I have an exact copy of you already that I've never sat in, so won't really be much of a loss. So I am at a standstill, and the reason is I'm waiting for the ceiling texture to dry. So the ceiling fan is down. I've already taken the other light out of its package. Will go up no problem. I have sprayed liberally the orange peel to match the texture that is on the wall and the ceiling. But I have to wait. It said half an hour. It's been longer than a half an hour, so my guess is more like an hour to an hour and a half. The worst thing I could do was rush. And Chris, you're already rushing. You've already got the paint out, ready to go. I get it. I get it, Chris. You want a new light. Really, that's what I want. There's a couple of things going on. So one, I want the ceiling to be painted. I want to be done with this because that is all I have planned for this weekend. And also I want to get that ceiling light up. And today is a short day. We are celebrating Marissa's birthday. She is at a horse show right now, but she'll be back early afternoon, and then we are driving down to Charlotte to go to Cowfish, which is a burger restaurant. It's at Universal Studios, but the original one is actually in Charlotte. Great burgers, fancy burgers. She's probably going to get the Burgushi, which is burger sushi. Lovely. And then she wants to see Meg. The Meg. She read the book as a kid. So we're going to go see the Meg. And then for dessert is the Cheesecake Factory. Wonderful. Yes, a big celebration. But that means it's a very truncated weekend to do any work. So I've cleaned up in here, paint, get the light up. Maybe move the computer back in here on some tray tables. So right now it's in the living room. Even though the junk is on the floor in here, that computer is still working and recording our TV shows. So I'm going to go drag a ring, I guess. That's where I take the tractor, and I've got an arena, I've got a drag that breaks up all the dirt and sand and clumps and stuff like that and resurfaces the ground for the horses, so it's nice and neat. I'm going to go do that. That'll take some time. Hey everybody. Shirtless. That's right. If you're inside, why wouldn't you? Got some little bit of paint, but the ceiling is painted. Of course, hard to tell because there's no light in here, so I can't tell if I did the whole thing. So I'm gonna shine a flashlight real quick. And yeah, check it out that way. It's not really a rescue, but one of the things I've been able to do is to clean this. This is Marissa's first gift to me back when we were dating. So it's an elephant shoes. And it was, I mean, it was like an inch of dust. It was ridiculous. So had to hand wash it with Woolite, and it's drying. It's been a couple of days now. It's going to take a couple more days before he comes back to his full splendor. I am literally watching paint dry so I can get this light on so we can leave. Well, we are back from our evening festivities. We had to go to Lowe's on our way out because the screws that they gave would have been fine, but our electrical outlet box is just recessed slightly, so we need just a little bit of a longer screw. And Marissa was kind enough to help me in the dark with a flashlight into the dark room. But boom! Look at that! It is so bright in here now. It is. Before we had like a 40-watt light bulb, and now it's, I think it says equivalent to 180 watts in here, and it's just a beautiful light. And it's so light in here that I don't think I actually need a desk lamp anymore. I think this will do just fine. And the ceiling looks good. So tomorrow we are going to clean the walls, and then maybe we'll even actually paint in here. We'll just see how the day goes. It's Sunday. Sunday's our busiest day. But I would like to get it painted here, to be honest with you. That way next weekend I can focus on the flooring. Don't have to, but I would like to. What is this? Well, it's Fabuloso. So you may have seen on our other video where we used a TSP, which is a very heavy cleaner. In this room, I'm deciding not to use that now. That cleaner works great, but it is, you need gloves and it's a whole thing. And I think I'm just going to wipe down the walls with regular household cleaner. In the kitchen, that's necessary because of all the oil. In here, it was just dust. So, yeah, I'm going through that process right now. Here on the surface of the sun, this room is so bright compared to, you know, just natural sunlight. Look at that. All right, Marissa, so let's show off the paint. Okay. Come here and lift.
All right, you all ready? Let's reveal the paint color. I like to call this Prussian Dawn.
But it's still got a stupid name, right?
Ooh, look at that. It's sort of a gray, kind of gray with a little, you know, hint of gray in it.
Yeah, well, with the surface of the sun in here right now, it looks like pure white.
That's
the way it's kind of reading.
It's actually a little bit darker, I think, than this, but once we stir it up a little bit, I think it'll get the color. But I think it'll be a nice lighter gray to complement the gray that's part of the desk that we got. And then the top of the desk is that sort of black brown. The new futon is black, and then with the new floor, it'll have a beige floor, black furniture, gray walls. I think it'll be nice. So get painting.
All right. I'm not going to show me painting or time lapse because I will be in my underwear. So
that's awesome.
There's no, but I don't want to blur out too much.
Nice.
Clothes are back on. Oh, and room is painted. It's been a few hours. The thing about this paint is it actually dries darker. So I kept on thinking that I was missing spots, but it wasn't that. It was the spots were still wet and some were dry, so it looked uneven. But now that it's all dry, it's all good. And there is an odor to this paint that the ceiling paint didn't have. A distinct, I guess, is what you want to say. So the grand unveiling. Ta-da! This is what the room looks like. Well, it looks like a big gray room. Yeah, I know. And the arcade machine. I can't wait for that to be in that corner. I just need to unpeel the paint. And also, everyone, don't cheap out. Make sure you actually remove the outlet plates. Some I couldn't though, to be fair. The radio ones, they are permanently attached, so we had to just kind of go around them. So, the room is painted. The light is in. I got further this weekend than I thought. I am happy. See a spot or two that need to be done on the ceiling, but it's panned down. But I will take care of that in due time. For the moment, that is it. We're going to be peeling up the rug later. Whew. It's good.